on, everybody.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented or amended?
So moved. A second.
Motion second to approve the agenda as presented. Any questions? Now we'll go to vote. Doug?
Yep.
Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
All right, on to the consent agenda.
You'll notice, Mayor and Council, there's a lot of resolutions on here. These are mostly pro forma measures that we do every year, purchasing of fuel, compliance testing, stuff like that, that I didn't think warranted any debate, so I just put them on there. But anybody has the right to pull any one of these off of consent if they want to discuss it.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. Motion and second to approve the consent agenda. Any other questions? Now we'll go to vote. Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
All right. Updates and presentations with City Administrator.
Great. The only update that's not on the agenda is that we're now taking pool applications. We're starting to get people interested in working at the pool over the summer. We have the same management coming back on board for this year, which is great. I know a lot of the lifeguards are coming back as well, so that'll start moving pretty quickly, and everything else that I have to talk about is on the agenda tonight.
Great. Any questions? All right. We'll move on to new business. Number 11. Resolution 2610, a resolution accepting the donation of a fire apparatus from Strawberry Point Fire Association and authorizing transfer of title.
Motion. A second.
All right, motion and second.
Great. So this has been an ongoing project. The chief came to me months ago, talked about how the association was working to put together this truck. This has been a massive project that the association has undertaken. Members of the department have worked together to basically build this truck. There's a memo in here from the fire department, sort of talking about everything, so I don't need to reiterate all of that. You've already read it. But what I do want to say is this is an incredible gift to the city. It's an incredible show of working together to accomplish something that would have taken the city years and years and years to borrow money to pay off. And so it's a really great effort. It's a wonderful gesture, and I know the mayor's going to have some remarks, but personally I'm just really proud of everybody working together to get this done, and just really happy to accept this gift.
Any questions? Okay, I'll go ahead and read what I have. On behalf of the City Council and the people of Strawberry Point, I want to give our sincere gratitude to the Strawberry Point Fire Association for this extraordinary gift. This fire truck represents far more than a gift of equipment. It reflects dedication, sacrifice, and countless hours of work behind the scenes. I want to thank our fire chief and every member of the fire department who devoted their time and expertise to making this project possible. We also recognize the many volunteers and community members who supported fundraisers and generously contributed toward this critical investment in public safety. Your commitment ensures that the residents of Strawberry Point are protected, and we are deeply grateful for your service and your partnership with the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then, Chief, did you want to say a few words? Okay.
Basically in that flyer that Dean gave, so.
Yeah, now the truck is parked outside, and we would ask if we could spare a couple of minutes that we all go out there while there's some light left, and maybe take a group picture. Is everybody up for that? Absolutely. All right, let's do that.
So they did all that themselves. That's pretty amazing, that truck, huh?
It was in everything with the agenda. Oh. He was the same one that threatened to burn my house down the state. While I was on the council. Oh my God. And you know how they walked out on the city? Because we found that money and the evidence that they hid it in their association on the traffic legally without coming to the city council. Yeah. And he won't even look at it and apologize. I congratulated him the night that he was appointed chief. That's all he did is look at me. No. And what was this then? What was this? I was like, F you. Thank you very much.
How accidents happen. Martin's other stop in traffic, and somebody just keeps going.
Rolling right through.
And there's just you, it's in black, and then
Yeah, exactly. There was no reflective
There was
light.
no reflective light.
Like, it could have been anybody.
And the guy's like, one little guy standing on the street, messing out.
We can call that semi tomorrow.
I know, but there was no like reflective lights, there was no,
No, I know.
it was just like, it could have been anybody.
It's hard to stop on the street.
You got two other three stuff, I mean.
What's that?
You got two other three. It still feels good about yourself.
So, along with this, we've got a motion and a second on the table. We'll take these pictures, we're gonna make a big Facebook post, tomorrow with the write-up that's, in your packet so that the public can know all of the details about what went into building this truck and that it's, been handed over to the city, and we'll make a big deal out of that, so, yeah.
Jason, at the pancake breakfast this Sunday, will there be any signage or any of that?
Yeah, Dave Clemens making a big poly board with cricket cutouts and pictures and stuff on it, so it'll be sitting there. We'll have it to the far south end of the station by the wash bay, kind of, and people can look at it up close and personal.
Perfect, great idea.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the pancake breakfast is this Sunday,
Sunday, yeah.
from what time to what time?
7 to noon.
7 to noon. All right.
All right, any other questions? If not, we will go to vote. Roger?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
All right, thank you guys very
Super.
much.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
All right, number 12, motion to authorize Ewalu to apply for grant funding for a mural project in Strawberry Point.
Make a motion?
Second.
Motion and second.
Great, so Ewalu reached out to us and they wanted to have one of their summer projects be a mural project. And they thought about doing it in the community here in the city, and so I said that I would float it in front of the city council. They also said that they would apply for a grant to pay for paint and materials and tools and stuff like that to do it. So I thought first step is, if we're okay with that, grant them approval to apply for a grant, and then they'll come up with a concept. And we talked about either doing it at the pool or here at Inger Park on the band shell wall. So, but we can cross that bridge when we get there.
So is this by an artist like Fredericksburg or like Fairbank has, like by an artist? Or?
We don't know. I'm not sure. Like, it's really early on. They just wanted to get permission to move forward first. We're not giving permission right now to do the mural, and we will obviously have the ability to look at it and approve it and like what it is and where it's going, and so yeah, just right now we're just looking at permission to make sure everybody can go to the next step.
Any other questions? No, we'll go to vote. Megan?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Cool, thank you. All right, number 13, motion to discuss installing a hitching post at the city library.
I make the motion we discussed.
Second.
All right, motion and second to discuss.
Great. So the library director reached out. There's a second Amish family that's been frequenting the library, and right now they have to hitch the horse up to a tree. And she wanted to inquire about us putting a hitching post there. I said I will definitely float it with the city council. One thing is absolute sure: there has to be a sign and there has to be some enforcement of picking up the horse poop, because there's still piles around town. We are trying to enforce it and educating the public on that. So what we definitely don't want is piles of horse poop in the parking lot over there. So that would be part of it, the hitching post with a very clear sign attached to it. So just didn't want to make that decision on my own. It's kind of new territory for me with the hitching post, so don't have a lot of those in Chicago. Yeah.
Where's the location?
It would be in the parking lot, basically at the front of one of the parking stalls.
My only concern is that it's just such limited parking there as it is, and it's kind of tight. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we could put it somewhere else.
Well, people use that as an alley.
Yeah.
Like people,
Right,
they
fly through
race
there.
through
Yeah,
there like
yeah.
it's an alley.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could go find another place for it near there, maybe a safer place to park a buggy. Right now, we should decide if it's something that we want to explore, and then if so, then I can have the city guys work on the exact location, exactly what the hitching post would look like, and bring it back for a vote. Or if there's not consensus to put one up at all, then I won't have them spend the time doing that.
Because behind, or like south of the library, that's usually used for like employees, right? That's kind of more out of the way,
Yeah.
Does it have to be on the cement or gravel, whatever, or no? Can it be in the grass area?
It probably
By the
could
tree?
be, we could check with the family and
If
see,
there's
I
enough room, I don't.
can't imagine that would be, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I mean, if they're not maintaining manure in the ones we have now,
yeah.
what makes us think that they're gonna do it in the library?
Well, we can start issuing tickets, like we've given them a warning already in person, and if it continues, they know that there will be citations issued. I have seen a couple of piles here and there over the last few weeks, but I don't know who left it, so it's it's a little hard to enforce. In front of the library, it would be a little easier to enforce because there's cameras and, we would know. So, it's an accessibility thing too, like whether people are coming and that's their mode of transportation, they're using the library, like we want people to use the library, so, I think that if we can find a way to accommodate, that would be great. If it is too dangerous or too difficult, I certainly understand that as well.
But I think we should make the accommodations if we can, I believe that the Amish community is probably going to even grow around Strawberry Point, so we can't not welcome them here. They're certainly just like we are, so.
Right.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I actually talked to the one Amish just as you go down Denver Hill, and he actually said the new radios that we got, he would make us leather pouches and donate them.
Oh, wow.
For, like, they'd be a strap you put on with a mic. He said when he got to it, he would actually donate them to the fire department, so.
That's really nice. Yeah, that's very, very cool. So, if there's consensus, I can have the city guys work on a plan, bring a couple of options at the next meeting, and then, have a vote on it.
Okay.
Is that?
Sounds good.
Christy and I walked that tonight because we knew there was gonna be a little discussion. South of the library is out, of course in front, facing, Highway 13 is out, that's the drive-through for the drop-off. And then, it looked like there was only one viable possibility, west of the flagpole, but then you're gonna take away full parking spot, maybe 2 parking spots. And then on the other side of that is handicap, there's 2 more spots in handicap. So, where you're gonna look, I'm not sure where that's gonna be.
That part looks tight, we have their activities.
But I'm with Doug, I said, I think we need to try to accommodate them coming in, they're coming into town, they wanna use the library, but where that's gonna be.
Do they have to necessarily be in front of the library?
I was just gonna say, can we do something central to the Civic Center, because, there's like farmers markets and things there at the Civic Center that they do provide for. If we had one post that was centralized to the Civic Center that they could use for multiple.
Okay, well, why don't we work with the city guys and come up with a couple of options, and we'll have those ready for the next meeting, and then we'll give a sort of, here's plan A, plan B, plan C, and let you guys pick.
Okay, sure. Sounds good.
That works? Okay, great. So, then we just either withdraw the motion, or, actually, it
Motion
was.
was just to discuss.
Yeah, it was
so,
just to discuss. Okay, great, perfect. All right.
All right. We'll move on to number 14, motion to discuss city 2027 budget. So moved. All right, motion second to discuss.
Super. All right, so I emailed you all on Friday an updated budget with some really improved numbers. There's a list of, I've got a change log here, which should be in your email or packet, that talks about, we've had a $274,000 reduction in expenditures. We got some updated numbers from insurance that, brought down my estimates significantly. I've estimated way high on those. We had an overstating of a salary out of one account that was actually like prorated into other accounts. So that was about $80,000 or $70,000 that was double stated. So that's great. Then we have about another $100,000 of potential rollover. We have a lot of projects that are in this fiscal year's budget that may or may not happen right before the fiscal year ends. So basically, we're at about a $400,000 deficit on the budget with ample money in reserves to cover that. And that sounds like a big number. We do have the reserves to cover it. Those reserves are just getting eaten by inflation, and so they're sitting in these accounts, and each year they're becoming just worth less and less and less money. So, in my opinion, we should accelerate these capital improvement projects. That includes really, really good capital improvement at the pool, really good capital improvement at Inger Park. It includes capital improvement at the museum building with the whole big irrigation project. So it would really put our community in really good shape for, the next 10 to 15 years in terms of amenities. So, and then obviously in the following fiscal year, we wouldn't have nearly as many capital projects, of this size or magnitude. So that's kind of where we're at. Is there any questions or comments or feedback on the budget? Because we have to start doing the public hearing soon. At the next meeting, we'll schedule the public hearing for the property tax hearing. Those numbers are pretty solid, so not too much movement there. But in terms of the expenditures, I just kind of want to get everybody's feedback and bring back a last version of this budget before we can all start going in the same direction on it.
I'm happy with what I'm seeing, but even though the deficit is a little bit bigger than we'd like to see, like you say, we do have the reserves.
Yeah. One other point on that too that I wanted to point out, like every one of these projects, I'm like grossly overestimating the costs on them. So, even at a $400,000 deficit, that could end up being a $230,000 deficit, just in the way that I'm estimating these costs are super high. So, most of the projects that we've brought, have not cost what we budgeted for. So I'm comfortable with the number in looking at it as a really worst case scenario. I'm pretty confident we'll be able to bring in some of these projects at much lower costs.
So the insurance adjustments, those are more realistic to what we're being quoted for?
Yeah, so basically, we take last year's numbers. We have feedback from a couple of the different line items that we know are going up. A couple are going up significantly, here and there. So we basically started it at last year's number plus about 60%, knowing full well that it wouldn't be that much. And now as we're getting refined numbers, we're chiseling away, okay, well that's not going to be 40, it's going to be 20, and so on and so forth. So it's line items where you can sort of see what the budget was in the change log and then what the reduction amount is. And I think that the insurance numbers are pretty accurate now. So I don't want to bring those down anymore in fear of not budgeting enough for it. So, and then, like I said, as usual, we'll be incredibly diligent on the expenditures and on the projects and making sure that we're getting good quality amenities, but we're not, buying the Rolls Royce of things.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then if there's any, feedback that anybody wants to discuss one-on-one, you just call me or come to City Hall, email, whatever. Don't be afraid to have suggestions. Like, I'm good at finance, but you know the community better, so it's good to get that feedback if possible.
And so then, like you said, next meeting, we'll set the date for the public hearing.
Yes.
Yep.
Tomorrow's the deadline. I have to finalize the revenue numbers as far as taxation goes. That's already in the state system. I just have to hit, submit. That'll print out the taxation hearing sheet. It's like that one sheet.
Yep.
I'll have to reach out to Tracy, get it published in the newspaper. The state changed the formula for the days of notice, so it's a little bit easier now. We used to have to schedule it, and because our meetings are on Wednesdays and the paper comes out on Wednesdays, we have to go 2 weeks in advance. The state shortened that notice period, so now we can, go 4 days notice minimum, 10 days maximum, so that'll be good. Then we'll do the property tax hearing, and then sometime before the end of April, we'll finalize and vote on the budget.
Any other questions, comments? Sounds good. Now we'll move on to number 15, Resolution 2611, adopting official city goals. Okay, motion and second.
Great, thank you. So these city goals have been the culmination of a couple of meetings. At the last meeting, I got really good direct feedback on the goals. I took that feedback and brought back what I think is a refined list of goals that incorporates kind of what everybody was hoping to accomplish. If I'm missing anything or if something is overstated or understated, this is the time to make any sort of edits before we vote to approve these. And then just so that the public is here, these goals inform every resolution and every motion that we bring to the council. Every project, whatever we're doing sort of ties into one of these goals. This is kind of our guiding principles for the next 12 months until we do this again next budget season.
Any questions, comments?
Looks good, I think. Reflects what we all discussed.
All right, we'll go to vote. Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Number 16, motion to discuss city's emergency siren testing schedule.
Need a motion? Second.
All right, motion and second.
Okay, so this has been an ongoing discussion about the frequency of the siren, and I suppose we have a guest speaker. All right, this is the microphone, so you're going to have to speak very loudly, okay?
Okay.
All right. I mean, you can stay there, just speak loudly.
Paul Kurt, Commonwealth Services. I did your noon siren several years ago, and that siren is old, and it has a noon timer of 1 minute. And I understand that's a loud siren down there, 6 days, and it is loud if you're living next to it. I understand that they came here and you shut it down. I have a proposal, $1,200 each, times 4. I can have the fire chief, at Cloud Services, it's $4 a month per siren, for me to program it from Dubuque, for him to turn the siren on from his cell phone when he's on storm watch. And there's a number of other things. I did go around and take pictures of it, and I found that south siren, battery dead, no AC, and that was 2 months ago. And Roger from Wessels assured me that they got it fixed. And then he brought up that the siren at Swales Precast is not working. So I don't know what's wrong with that one, but the new system that I'm proposing is cloud-based, and it goes out to U.S. cellular data, and that allows us to program it from the field, program it from a cell phone, and it has 4 inputs and 4 outputs. So somebody's going to get an email telling you that okay, I'm just assuming it's new, okay, and you guys can tell me what time you want. At noon, we're going to tell Jason that we set the siren off. And then there's positive feedback in there. That means the sound got loud enough, and we could trigger an input to tell him the siren may him that battery voltage is low or non-existent, he's gonna get notified. There's 8 emails, and I would like to have one email address for city to keep a log, so you know that it goes off. I am looking for a time of day. I am looking for how long. How long could be 5 seconds, could be 10 minutes, anywhere in between there. And I'm gonna throw a code out there, siren turn on, and then I'm gonna throw cancel at some predetermined time for the length of the siren blast. I'm gonna throw it a cancel, and it's gonna shut down. And you're gonna get notification, and I've been playing with one, and I have Jason in on the email list, and he gets notice on his phone that something happened. Now, his phone and email, his email are synced up, so he gets on his phone, he probably gets it on his desktop at home, whatever the case may be. I would like to propose that somebody in the city give me an email address, and there's your log for the residents. I think you have a duty to protect your residents. And you know, there's lawsuits and this and that, and something don't work, they take everybody and his brother to court. The electrician that worked on it, me that put it in, and especially the city. You will be getting a suit filed against you if the siren goes off and there's no, and if the storm is coming through and you did get that section up. Now, the south siren, Roger told me the fuse, the wind took the transformer fuse and it was laying on the ground. I noticed it when I was there about 2 weeks ago, and I told Jason I want to know when it's fixed, and I found out tonight. Roger took care of it today. So 2 weeks, you had no siren down in the south end, and I can't tell you what Swales is doing. I haven't been there to service it. So I propose this is the equipment. And we got a cell tower in town, and a cloud, and there's some relays, input relays and output relays. And I was glad to take care of it. Ask for a maintenance contract. I think if you buy this, if I send it to a city employee, a maintenance employee, he'll get the same, he'll know exactly when, if I have this in on the south siren and the AC went dead, batteries are dead, and I told Jason, don't try and start that battery, you're gonna blow the tops off, especially in the cold weather. So the batteries may need to be changed at the south siren. We just got it up tonight, and I told Jason not to try it for a week to get the batteries back to normal. You bought battery backup on the south and the bowling alley, and I did check the batteries in the bowling alley, and they're good. There's a reason why you bought battery backup, because if you break the power, high lines, generator, or whatever the case may be, sirens are not going to go. So everybody's liable that got a hand in the pot. So anyway, with this, I can give you positive feedback. I can tell you if the door is open. I can tell you if there's no AC there. And now we got probably 4 or 5 days battery not being charged, and it still will blow that siren, maybe 4 to 5 days. So Jason is going to know if there's no power down, AC power, and he's going to know within 5 minutes. So it's a new way of doing things, and the cloud services, it's US Cellular or T-Mobile, wherever the case may be, and you're fortunate to be in town and with this antenna sitting on the box, you should have no problem getting back to the cloud. The cloud also keeps a record, and if Jason wants to go to the cloud and punch in some numbers, we can turn the sirens on from any place in the world. So, but I think you have a responsibility to the residents. As far as the bowling alley, a minute might be too long. You can ask them. I would like to maybe do 10 seconds, if that helps. And now the days, I'm kind of believing 5 days, the work days, skipping holidays is adequate. We have some towns that do 7 days, and usually noon. Now, I think this one was going noon and 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm looking for input and an okay to buy this, and we can get it probably put in 2-3 weeks, so.
All right, so let's talk, well, first, are there any questions? Not about the cost or the process or something like that. We have a process, we'll have to bring your proposal before them for a vote at the next meeting, but we can maybe get things rolling sooner. There was a question about once a day, once a week, once a month, and there hasn't been a consensus. We need to kind of have a consensus tonight on what we're going to do.
I appreciate it.
Well, the consensus we kind of got from the city when we did the vote was they were not happy with the once-a-day testing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you all got that survey, right? Yeah, so,
I think
I don't know if you want to just go across the board and see where everybody's at and see if there's a majority consensus or discuss it.
I can also do 5 minutes apart, if that helps.
No,
In between siren?
yeah, no, let's do them all at the same time.
Yeah. I think it is alarming though that one was down for
Yeah.
how long,
Gonna
2
say.
down, or maybe possibly 2, and we had no idea. With storm season approaching real quick here.
They could have been down since last year when they
Yeah.
tested the storm testing.
So this is the only fire one, and the other ones are,
The other 3 are storm.
Storm.
This one's storm 2,
right, but
but
this
this one does
fire.
both.
Okay. So when they're tested, like, when they were being tested twice a day, was this the only one that went off twice a day?
Yes.
So it was only the fire one going off twice a day. The
Right.
storm ones, how often are they supposed to be tested?
They only were ever tested with, the county when they did the
Was that like some?
storm week.
Yep.
But I was hoping with this new system, we could test all 4 of them at the same time. That way we knew they all work.
So maybe we just get everybody's input on how often they think we should test them.
I could add the 4, he's gonna get 4 emails, so he doesn't have to be having somebody by each siren to say, hey, it did go off, so. And the city's gonna know if I give you your email address.
Yeah, we can log it. We have a database that can log it, so.
Okay, can I just clarify? So this daily, weekly, monthly siren that we're gonna have, so now all 4 will be going off at that time? Okay,
That's what he's proposing.
That's what I would
But
like
that's,
to happen.
yeah.
okay.
If we could just test the one, I guess that's fine too, but I
I
would,
don't think it would be a problem.
personally, I would just soon see it once a day, 5 days a week.
Okay.
Well, again, I don't think the city wants that. I don't think that the citizens necessarily want that from what I
Yeah,
heard.
but,
Well, they
do you want
shortened it up.
citizens to be safe, or do you want them to?
Well, I understand that, but also that siren's going off for so long, once a day, that.
But if it's
Right, but
only
he's
five
gonna adjust the time down to
seconds,
10
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
Right, but I
So
think
they
we
want
should all
short.
kind of go with what our consensus is.
Yeah, I think maybe everybody should just say how many days, what duration, like, and then just see what the consensus is. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not the boss, you're the boss.
Well, I've always done.
So professional opinion is 5 days a week.
Excuse me.
Your professional opinion is 5 days a week.
5 days a week. And that one, bowling alley went 1 minute.
Okay.
There was no changing whatsoever. Now I have the capability of doing whatever you like.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have anybody near a siren. Yep, Jason, this one went off.
Yeah, we got it. So all right, so, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of heads that a minute is out of the question.
Yeah.
Our citizens are.
Yeah, so 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's.
So is there a consensus on the duration?
Yes.
All right, who wants once a day? Raise your hand.
I'll do it.
Once a day, 5 days a week.
Who wants once a week?
I
I'd be fine with that.
Right, so it's kinda, right. So you're at you can either take a vote or you can discuss it. Yeah, you're kind of at a
Well,
impasse.
I mean, at this point, we're talking more funds, so.
There would be more funds, but it would be we have funds budgeted for repairs and maintenance and stuff like that. This would be very well easily within those numbers. So there would be a cost, like I said, it would be about $4,000 up front to install this new technology, and there would be a monthly cost for the cell signal, which is going to be about $16. And, there will be any sort of maintenance on it. So it's a investment. I wouldn't say that it's an exorbitant amount of money. I'd say that it's well within our maintenance budget.
I think we have some obligation as a city to test the sirens and be responsible that they will go off during a storm.
Well,
you know?
absolutely, we definitely
I
need
think
to be
that's-
testing the weather sirens, so we have not been.
Right, I think that's something that
So
we can
can-
agree with.
Can I make a formal motion to test
Well,
it?
this is just discussion.
It is just a discussion. I would have to bring the resolution for you for the expenditure and the.
But I'm talking about testing, like, do we need a formal motion for testing?
We're only discussing it tonight. The motion and the resolution will come in the next meeting when we have the actual budget. Yeah, but you can, like, if you want to build a consensus around something, like I'm going to need 3 votes to bring a resolution forward.
I mean, if we have to do 5 days a week, I think it definitely should be noon and not in the evening and 5 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever max, for all the sirens, because that 1 minute, especially the one in the middle of town where a bunch of people live, they're pissed about that 1 minute. I can tell you that right now.
We already established 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, so basically where we're at now is once a day or once a week.
I guess my thing is, the last meeting too with the text alerts, we're polling our community and we want our community's input and then we're not listening to them.
Yeah.
And, we're worried about our citizens' safety, but we don't want to send out text alerts for storm warnings or emergencies in cities. So I guess I'm just confused which way we want to go, because they're not adding up.
So how many people didn't actually participate in that survey and would prefer to be protected than listen to?
Right, and I understand that, and you obviously have to factor that in, but we also have to go with the data that we collected too.
Right, but that's not consistent data.
But people had choices to
You
participate in
didn't poll
that.
everybody in the whole town.
The data are consistent, like anything over 110, 120 responses is a statistically significant sample of the data. The siren data did have a lot more than the texting data, but both represent, like, if everyone in town were to respond, the response distribution would be just about the same. So I'm comfortable that the data are good. But the question is, the council has an obligation above and beyond the data, right? So, you want people to be safe, you want to know that our equipment is tested, and you want to balance that with the annoyance of having that thing go off. And most people did not like the idea of it going off once a day. And that's real feedback. So it's a tough decision because
Would the data have changed if they knew it was once a day for 10 seconds? That's my question right now. If we would have proposed the question, would you be in favor of testing the sirens once a day, 5 days a week for a 10-second blast? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I do believe that would have an impact on the data because everybody who voted on it knows that when that goes off, it goes off for a really long time.
Right.
So I do think that the data would skew. How much it skews, I have no idea, but it would definitely be an impactful variable.
One last thing. Us checking the data 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If we lose power at swales and home, anytime during that time, we're going to know it. As of right now, that sirens are not going to go if the power is not there. Does that make sense? There's no battery backup at those 2 sirens. And he's got a proposal for a new siren battery backup, just so you know. So anyway, any questions for me?
No.
I'm glad to work with you, and hopefully we'll give us the green light.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so you need some direction.
I need some direction, yeah. As uncomfortable as it is, it's like, you know.
I mean, I think we have
Just
to listen to our.
personally, I don't
efforts.
think 5 days a week for 10 seconds is gonna be that big a deal for people to understand that we're trying to do two things. Number one, keep our equipment running, and number two, inform them if we've got an emergency. I think everybody can live with 10 seconds.
But also, but testing it once a week is still testing it, and that shows that we are listening to our community members for what they are requesting to not have it done once a day, because last week we didn't listen to them either. So at what point are they gonna say, why do we even bother participating in anything and putting out our opinion if they aren't going to listen to us?
I did receive that comment yesterday. You know, 2 surveys, somebody answered both, and then it went the other way. So it is a valid point that if we're gonna survey, you know, it should mean something, but.
And then on the other side of that, we have a tornado go through here, and we have a siren that doesn't work,
Yeah.
and we're gonna be on the hot seat because, why didn't you do something about that?
But if we get this new system, Jason should be getting an alert if the battery's not working or something is wrong with it. So if we get this new system that does this, shouldn't be a problem anyways.
But it only tested once a time, and it only would email me one time, so.
Oh, so then it's like the battery's low or
So,
something's wrong with it, like
it
you
will
just
only
said?
tell when it's set off.
It's only gonna tell you the battery's low if it's set off.
What's that?
Yeah, it'll send you those alerts.
And we have the battery backup, correct?
So everything
On
you're
2 of them.
consulting should be helping that situation, so if we test once a week, it shouldn't be such an issue.
The other thing is, if there is a tornado, everybody's cell phone is already going to go off.
Right. And the Lutheran
From
home,
the
with that
National,
Iris
you know,
connected,
National Weather
does have a
Service.
generator.
Yeah.
I don't know if I took to the Lucy home generator or not.
Well, that's a good question to ask them, because they are on a generator. Because they are a nursing home and they have people on life-saving oxygen, they have a generator. So I would find out if that siren's connected to that generator.
Yeah, find out, because only half of their building is on that generator.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
I would ask them if
yeah.
that siren is connected to that.
Yeah.
That'd be a good question about the siren.
All right, so I don't know, Mayor, maybe you just want to take a vote and however you want to do it, but, yeah. I think everybody's made up their mind, it seems like, so.
Okay, I'll start with Megan.
What do you want to know?
I guess.
What's our choice?
Once a day, once a day or once a week?
Once a day.
Sarah?
Once a week.
Once a week,
Daily?
daily.
Okay, all right, I'll bring the resolution, with the costs and everything in the next meeting, and then, we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Great.
All right, number 17, resolution 2612, fix a date for a public hearing on proposal to enter into a sewer revenue loan and disbursement agreement and to borrow money in a principal amount not to exceed $100,000.
Make a motion.
Second. All right,
Okay.
motion and second.
Thank you. So you'll notice I did not write this resolution because it has twice as many words in it. So our bond counsel wrote this. Basically, we're taking out a loan. This is for the I&I issue that we've been having with the flooding and all that stuff. So this is an investigation. You know, we're spending this money to go map the entire sewer system with cameras, look for issues, try to get to the bottom of the flooding issue in town. And this is basically a sewer revenue project. You know, we have another bond that's like that. So it's going to be structured from there, which is why you didn't see the debt service line item go up in the budget. This will come out of sewer revenues. And there's a process to do this. So we have to have a public hearing. This is the first step to have the public hearing. I believe it's for March 14th. And there will be some, you know, we have to alert the public, have that public hearing, and then from there, then we'll get this going. And then the project is scheduled for early spring when it's easy for crews to get out here and start doing that work.
March 18th, next meeting.
Correct. Two meetings from now, right?
Nope, next week.
Oh, yeah.
We're in March now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So you weren't able to find any reliable information from the times when we've done this in the past?
Eric can talk more on it, but I mean, the most, I will say this, in talks with Eric and others, the most we've found out is that there is a lot we don't know. Like, we're not even sure that we have an
Sir,
accurate.
can we, sorry.
Sir.
Sorry.
Right, please, while we're discussions. Eric, can you talk more on it?
What was the question again? You were not able to find reliable information on the time that we
Everything's
done
on
this before?
BHS, and it's gonna change. I mean, we did this, what, in the 90s?
No, we did it in 2005 or 2006.
But that's still
20
20
years
years.
ago.
Yeah.
I don't think what you got 20 years ago, I wouldn't rely on that. It's gonna change.
The other thing is, too, we don't have a map, and so can you talk about what this project is going to do and how it's going to give us data that we're going to actually be able to use for generations?
Yeah, okay. So basically, what the first step we'll do is we're gonna camera everything. And we'll be able to see, like if you go into Maine, we don't want high flows, we want it kind of fairly dry, but you'll be able to see clear water coming in. That tells you there's a problem. That's the biggest red flag. So that's probably the first step, and then from there, we can kind of isolate if we want to smoke test, if we want to go further, want to go in more depth to see what we got, possible storm sewer or something type. Right now, I don't, what we're gonna find, I am gonna say, is that we're gonna find probably 70%, I would say at least, is gonna be on private lines. So if we're not gonna force them people to do anything, this is a waste of time. I won't lie to you on that.
And is that what happened 20 years ago?
From what I understood, talking to former employees, yes.
Is that they did all this research and then nothing got enforced and then,
Yes.
so nothing got done?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they found some stuff on the news.
Sure.
Yeah. But with the cameras, we'll have proof.
Yeah.
And that proof can be used to hold people accountable and have them disconnect from the sewer, their sump pumps, like everything. And we'll know where all the problems are. Also, this is going to create a GIS map of our entire sewer system that I've already spoken with the county. They're going to allow us to piggyback on the beacon and add a layer for our municipal stuff.
Oh,
So
nice.
we'll be able to have a sewer layer on the GIS, which will be super helpful for us. They have GPS coordinates for everything, like the camera knows exactly where it's at. It's an expensive project, but in the talks that we've had, the flooding isn't going to stop, and it's probably going to get worse as the storms get worse. And so it's, I hate to spend the money because it's a lot of money, but at the same time, it's a lot of flooding.
But we need to find out what we got, so we can start budgeting to fix the problems. Right now, we don't even know what we got.
It's not an exorbitant amount of money to spend on it, but it's just that if we're gonna spend the money, I'd like to see results. I mean, we did this, like I said, 20 years ago, we thought we had solved things, and we didn't, apparently.
When they're done, you're gonna have a PDF file of everything they found and where. So then at that point, we can start picking which ones we think are gonna do the most first, and just work down the list. So we'll be able to fix a lot of our problems.
But the number one thing is, though, we need support from the council to hold properties accountable that are illegally hooked up to the sewer.
I was just gonna ask, like, are our codes and everything up to stuff and like?
Yes.
Like kind of bulletproof and like?
The code is there.
Yep.
It exists. The municipal infraction for an illegal hookup is there. We are gonna increase it as part of that update, code update that I've been talking about for a year. So we do have the mechanism to hold people accountable. From discussions I've had in the past, councils didn't have the appetite to hold people accountable for, major repairs that could be thousands of dollars on their property.
It's gonna be thousands of
Well,
dollars.
and it's gonna be on us too. I'm sure there's stuff within the
Oh,
city that's
absolutely.
gonna be,
There's gonna be stuff that we're gonna find that's gonna be not
It's-
cheap and easy
yeah.
to fix.
That's right, that we're responsible for too.
Yes, yes.
So to your point, Doug, I think there's value here, and I think we will get something out of it, but that won't be the fix. The fix will be, here's the list of things that need to be fixed and properties that need to be held accountable. Here's the mechanism to hold them accountable. We can go property to property, issue them a letter telling them exactly what's wrong, show them the proof. So it's a massive project, but I think it puts us in the driver's seat rather than always guessing like what's happening.
But at least at that point, we know what we got, and we can start budgeting for
Right.
future years.
Yeah.
and have some idea, maybe get.
There's so many unknowns, you know,
Yeah.
you just don't know.
You can't
And we'll have it
budget.
mapped, I mean, there's more than just the use of where the problems are, you know, we'll have everything mapped out that if there is,
Yeah.
we can quickly get back to something.
And then the good news is, this is a 3-year loan from the state revolving fund, it's 0 interest.
Mhm.
So, it is a significant amount of money, and I'm really happy to not have to pay any interest on it. So, you know, there's that, like, and the state was excited. And by the way, we have a mandate from the state to do this work,
Right.
because he can explain it better, but basically with all the rainwater that's getting into our sewers, it's diluting our numbers to the point where, you know,
We're not gonna be in compliance.
Exactly.
We're starving our sewer lagoons,
Yeah.
because it's clean water.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing to do with sewer lagoons is clean water.
Yep.
But we did get dinged on the last sewer inspection that we are required to do something before our next inspection. So far, it's been, we're within 3 years of the next one, we've done nothing.
Yeah.
So, they're gonna force us.
Yep.
Well, speaking of somebody that cannot do any more insurance claims because of flooding at my house, and knowing the makers that had $65,000 damage to their place, our 2 totals is over $100,000, and I can't make another insurance claim. I'm out. So this has to be something we do, okay? Or else I'm leaving town, because I can't. You can't do it. You can't go through it anymore. I cannot go through what we've been through the last 2 floods and put up with that because we have a problem. And that problem it hasn't been looked at. It's been behind closed doors, and nobody's wanted to deal with it. Well, we got to deal with it because it's affecting our citizens. It's affecting everything that we do. Okay.
I totally agree with that, Roger, I do.
And
I just want to make sure that we're spending money, we see results.
If we're spending it, we're gonna leverage it.
If we're gonna sit up here and then.
There's no guarantee on this, because there's a lot of towns doing this, but we're going in the right direction.
Right, right.
Yeah.
We don't know where to find
At least we're making an effort.
Yeah.
If we don't do anything, we know we're not gonna fix anything.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and just, no, there are uncomfortable discussions ahead when holding these properties accountable that are illegally hooked up. Like, these are, I'm happy to enforce it, happy to
Your
be the
friend's a
bad guy.
neighbor.
But when push comes to shove, there may have to be some votes about holding people accountable, and those are always difficult to have, you know?
And also the point too, that the city may be on the hook for a lot of repairs on its own.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have to explain to the citizens, but
Yeah.
I think it has to be done because we've had this issue for, well, at least 30 years.
Yeah, since gravity.
Yeah.
Since gravity and rain, right.
well, I'm also of the opinion if we have an ordinance on the books and we don't enforce it, you might as well take the ordinance off the book.
Right.
You know, it's if we're not going to enforce it, do away with it.
Probably a better time to talk about, but when you do enforce it, then you're gonna get involved with legal stuff. Property owners aren't gonna do it, you know, how do you enforce it?
Well, so the state makes it really easy because we have the latitude in a municipal infraction to issue a fine, and if they're purposely non-compliant, that fine can compound daily. And it goes up and up and up to the point where the city can put a lien on a property. So we have the mechanism to hold people accountable. It is a small town where everybody knows everybody, and so it's been difficult in the past where, you know, the issue has been, well, can we do this, can we do the fine, and then, well, we can't do it for that person because it's so-and-so. Like, I don't believe in that, you know, but I also come from a much bigger place where there's a lot of anonymity and not everybody knows each other. So I know how difficult it is to hold people accountable that maybe go to church with or maybe have coffee with, whatever. But again, we have the mechanism. I'm perfectly happy to use that mechanism, but I just want to make sure if we use it that we're going to have the backup from the city council that we're using this ordinance that's on the books, we're using it equally, we're using it impartially and fairly, and, you know, it's, because we get the whole, do you know who I am, like at least once a week, and I'm, you know, happy to be able to say, no, not really, never met you before, but nice meeting you, yeah.
And I think one of the things that we can do when we know this is gonna, when we know this is gonna start, we have to do a good job of letting our citizens know, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is what's coming down the pipe, this is the problems we're having, and if you are running stuff through the city sewer legally, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be notified, and we can proactively let people know that, So it's not a big shock to their system. Oh, nobody told me. Well, yeah, we told you that we were gonna do this, and here's the results of it, so get ready.
You gotta be careful with that too, because they're just gonna hook their stuff while they're testing.
Yeah,
Well,
We'll thread that needle.
I mean, we all let people know we're gonna try something, but I don't think we wanna tell them when,
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
where,
Yeah.
because then they get cheat to death.
We also have the latitude to do inspections on properties. If push comes to shove, we can go into the property and inspect.
There's other towns that have done this too, I know, and
Yeah.
they've had to like, kind of force their residents to hook up a different way, or, I don't know if there's grants out there for people that
And there
might
is-
have to make changes, or maybe major changes,
Yeah.
there's
And
gonna be
there's the
businesses,
ability,
I'm sure.
they can line now from the main. like,
Right.
Not quite all the way to the house, but at least to the right of way without even digging your yard.
Right.
I have to think that that's probably cheaper than every less than me.
Right, right.
And most of the problems you're gonna find is where it hooks into the main.
So I think a good start is doing the testing and see what it is, and then see, what kind of help we can offer these people, and that, I don't feel like we have to be so strict, but we can offer something. You got 90 days, whatever, 180 days to
Yeah, we're
fix
not-
it,
yeah.
Like, steps, I guess.
Yeah,
Like Roger
it's-
said, let them know we're
oh.
doing it, but hey, we're gonna implement in so many days, we're gonna be checking it out again,
Yeah.
so.
All right, I think it's for any more comments, questions? All right, now we'll go to vote. Doug?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
yes.
Megan?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
All right, number 18, resolution 2614, authorizing refund of overpayment of the city share of local option sales tax by Swales Precast Inc. in the amount of $4,683.11.
I make a motion.
Second.
All right,
Great.
motion second.
So this is the state overcharged Swales on the local option sales tax. These numbers go back several years. All of the data are in your packet that shows each year what the refund amount was and then what our portion of that was. And, I did the calculations, checked them twice, everything is accurate. Everything has been confirmed from the Department of Revenue, so the Swales definitely owed this back as a refund.
So will you have to split that between like the 3 pools within our city, or how does that work?
What do you mean?
Like, or it's just the city's share of the,
Well, so the local option sales tax goes into one fund.
Yep.
And then from there, we distribute it.
Right.
We have a lump sum that's just sitting in that fund, so
Yep.
we'll make the refund from that fund. So it'll be before that money gets distributed to
Okay.
each entity.
Got it.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, it'll be an equal,
Got it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, any other questions, comments? Not, we'll go to vote. Michelle?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Megan? Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
All right, other business?
No other business on my end.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Okay, all right.
That was a big meeting for an hour.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.